Yo, Dom, over here. Hey,
Hey,
Dom, hey.
Yo, Dom.
I look better in that picture.
So does Steve.
Fuck you.
What were you saying?
Before you logged in, I was talking about how much weight I gained. I just want to tell you that.
Before I logged in, you said nothing was off limits. So here we go.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I thought you were always as fat as you are now.
No, I put on 20 pounds after I got married.
20 pounds of what?
Fat, obviously. It's all on my face and my hips.
Your hips?
My hips, yeah.
His ass too, Dom. Hips? You should see his ass. His ass is getting big.
Stop it! I'm getting hungry.
So what's the story with the hat, Dom?
I don't know. Somebody wanted me to wear this to the airport. Excuse me, Cox. Very mature. I saw the impression you do of Sebastian.
Oh yeah,
that's fucking unbelievable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, it sounds exactly like that. I mean, an impression. It's like it sounds exactly like him.
Yeah. I don't even think it's an impression. I think with the Chicago Italian accent, if you're really immersed into it, it kind of just comes out when you out even knowing it. You know, it's very like I tell everybody this, and everyone thinks, it's like Sebastian's kid brother or Sebastian 2.0 or Walmart Sebastian, which is my favorite and most accurate because I'm not even close to his success. But just sit at my family dinner table for 10 minutes and you'll hear these accents come on. I don't know what it is. Not every Italian in Chicago has kind of my dad called me the other day. I don't know how every city's got its own accent.
Does he have to make that face?
My stuff all the time. So
I knew Sebastian when he was a waiter at the Four Seasons, right?
That's right.
He comes up to me, he goes, he knew who I was, and how you nice to meet you, and he says he wants to be a comedian. I'm thinking, oh, here we go, another fucking comedian. And then I go into the Comedy Store one night. He's on stage. I go, holy shit, Steve, fucking good. I had no idea, because he never really bragged. He just said that's what he wants to do, and I always went and I got him as a waiter so I could duke him. And now he can buy the fucking theater that he's in. I'm sitting here talking to you, Nick.
I'm curious. Well, thanks for having me. Yeah, a Cox hat really sums it all up. It's a good hat. It's a good hat. But
what Four Seasons was that at? What city was it? In Chicago? He was working at
L.A. Yeah,
in
L.A.
I think it was Beverly Hills. Yeah.
There was this one a manager came in. He's like a big deal. He's telling the story. He's all drunk, and he goes, "Hey, you see that couple over there? You gonna fuck tonight? This is a class restaurant." And I could see that I wanted to do something special for him. So the guy says, "This is $500 a bottle of this wine. Hey, why don't you get two of them?" He goes, "Yeah, I will." Right. So which meant Sebastian gets a $100 tip.
Nice.
And this fucking guy's going, "Yeah, I don't take buy him something. Buy her something." What the fuck you?
He ended up. I think I saw that story. Just watching your stuff online. He ended up bringing them a bottle, and like it was a nice gesture to say, asking them to move or something like that.
Oh yeah. He gave them champagne.
Which I thought was a pretty class move. I don't know if that was.
Well, it's funny. I told him, when people go and they tell me that I copied off of him, or he copied off of me rather. I'm thinking, I said to him, "You don't copy off of anything. You're not allowed to be Italian? Like I own the island, the peninsula." Whatever the fuck.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you is kind of what from then until now, however the hell what timeline you want to look at it from, how you have approached newer Italian comics. Like, is there, because I've met some guys that will have a thing or two to say. I'm not going to say any names, and it probably is just like names. Bitter, jealous bullshit. But like, I'm just wondering what your approach with other Italian comics.
First of all, we went to the bullshit because we're about backstabbing and name dropping. No, but they said that about him. He's like, we're nothing alike.
Right. Obviously, I just wonder, if you've ever. Is there a line with you on an Italian comic and their material as to what's off limits, what's on up your alley? Like, does it really fucking matter?
No.
Good. That's good.
If you're funny, you're funny. And if you're not, you can steal all you want and it ain't going to work out. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. The ones that I've heard talk shit about whoever, yeah, their career, if I had to guess, isn't really where they want it to be. So you can't take that shit with a grain of salt, because everyone's going to have something to say that's not happy with how their own things go. And
Jealous, bitter people.
Yeah.
Like, Todd Glass, is that name? Todd Glass or?
Yeah, I've
I
heard that
know
name before.
Todd Glass. Yeah, plays Philly all the
Well,
time.
he stole this thing from me a long time ago. He was 19, right? And I confronted him. I said, "What the fuck? I did it on television already." He goes, "No, I didn't do it. I didn't steal it. I never saw you do it." And it's every time I'd see him over a year or something, he goes, "I swear to God, I didn't touch it." After about 20 years, he comes up to me and goes, "All right, I did it. But I ran out of material. I ran out of materials. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." He
Took him 20
came
years.
out that he was gay and that he told it. I don't know how do you find out you're gay? You know, you're washing, all of a sudden you go, "Oh man, do I love this thing?" Whatever this is. I think I must be gay. Look at my beautiful cock.
Is that why you got the hat, Dom? You trying to
That's
tell
right.
us
It all
something?
comes around, doesn't it?
Drop the soap in the shower before this,
So
and the rest is history.
Where's your stand-up at? Where do you work out?
I just did a show with Steve at Springfield, New Jersey. We did with Scotty's Pub and Comedy Cove. That was an
Comedy
interesting
Cove,
crowd.
Who's your Steve?
Me right here, Dom, your co-host.
Oh, I don't consider him a comedian. He's a social director to our seats.
He got me good 2 weeks ago, Nick.
What happened?
He said I used to love doing podcasts until you started interviewing me every week.
Yeah, how did this come about, Dom? Because you had a show at the Laugh Factory. You were interviewing a bunch of comics, and now you got to look at a guy with a New York Mets hat on in Los Angeles. I mean, you got a Cox hat on, which
I just
how's
like the
this
whole
been for
thing. I like the idea that my bed is right next door.
I
Can't get much fucking lazier.
The rest of the world has the same fucking approach. Everyone's got a podcast or an Instagram account trying to grow their online shit.
Like they did it. Hey, Charlie, come here. I can't believe this thing I have. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. I still don't understand it. Right. I mean, to me, it's like you guys, you come in for like Star Trek, right? And like when you leave from here, the first time I did it, I had no clue. I couldn't. When I go, we're going to go downstairs, have a beer with the guys. They go, "Dom, the guys were never here." I said, "Yeah, I did a thing with them." No, that's a new technology. And then I'm standing here like everything I do is like new. Like, hey, this is like Mom. Like my mother took me to the zoo. You know. Anyway, help me with this.
Connection.
You came in here. You thought I was going to do something for you.
No, it froze for a sec. You're fine, but no, yeah, it's
Nick. Nick, you know what's crazy? Dom was like one of the first comics, like with the podcast boom, like before the boom happened, like the big wave.
Yeah,
he was. I don't know if you noticed, he was on Rogan all the time.
Yeah, it was like 11 years ago. I saw this series.
Yeah,
Rogan said to me,
he's got the most appearances on Kill Tony. The most.
Wow.
That's good for me to get like I go to Sydney, Australia. All these like boys came to see me because I was like they were into the whole thing. I said, "How the fuck did you hear of me?" They go, "Rogan, Joe Rogan," and it was amazingly. And he said to me, we used to shoot pool like every week. He goes, "Something's happening. It's like a movement or something." He's like, "But you can't believe like this is when like he had like 1 million people that already knew his name. It was phenomenal."
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic, even for me, who kind of started with this internet shit during the pandemic, to where like there's a clear, at least to me, and I think a lot of other people that do this, is like there's a clear process as to what it takes to get a following. You know, you got to post every day, you got to respond to your audience, you got to post on not just Instagram, you got to do TikTok and Facebook. But what's nuts is like, different from stand-up or even acting, I would imagine, is like you could follow the process with online. You could do everything by the book as the book is today, and it might just not work because whatever algorithm will say it's not good enough. Versus stand-up, if you know the stage time and you're doing everything right and taking feedback, I have to imagine it's it's different. So it's a weird. It is fucking weird that this thing is. We have to do.
What did you do first? The clubs or this?
I actually didn't really plan on getting on stage right away. I was doing improv at Second City in Chicago, where I think that's how you started too, right, Dom? And Steve took classes there.
I majored in drama, and I guess you guys are familiar with Fiddler on the Roof.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You probably know me as the rabbi in Fiddler on the Roof. That's where I started.
Rev Tevye? No, yeah, our high school play did that one. I didn't do it. I thought it was good enough to start playing football, and then I backed up the long snapper and played 4-string defensive end.
But Dom, you wanted to be an actor before stand up, didn't you?
I wanted to avoid term papers. I wanted to do the easiest way out. I didn't care about anything. I just did. That's why I got into drama. So you didn't know. All you do is like a scene, and you go home. And that's fucking right.
So did you know, like, obviously at a young age, you wanted to do something that wasn't,
I honest to God, I related to those guys. Like, Pryor would come on and go, that's me. I understand that. Like, I had some special connection to them. I don't know. I didn't have anything, but I just always thought I was a comedian. One nun, the nuns either hated me or loved me. This one nun said in 8th grade, she goes, I hate you. And I never met a boy who I hated worse than you. And all I teach is boys.
Did you have
was that your motivation, Don?
No, then this other nun tells my mother, she goes, he's so funny, he could make a cat laugh. That's what inspired me.
Yeah,
how about you, man?
I had a marketing degree. I had 4 or 5 years in the corporate world, and from a young age, I always thought it was a dream. It was just a dream to do acting and stuff. And then I eventually saw a show at Second City, took the class, and after a year, I just fell in love with performing, and I wanted to get into acting. And then like a week after my last show at Second City, the pandemic hit. So the only thing we had was TikTok.
Oh, wow.
And I was doing videos and shit and impressions out of the gate. And then comedy clubs called and wanted to start booking me as a headliner. And I had never even gotten on stage. It was fucking nuts. So I have a pretty weird start to stand. I'm 2 years in, still, trying to make the right time to get on stage as much as I should. But to your point about how fucked up the podcast world is, this video world is, everyone's in their pajamas working from home. It's like, there's so many options now with the online followings that people get to go be an actor, have a podcast, do videos, get on stage, to where like I don't even know what your perception. I can't even imagine what your take is on, current day, modern day comedy entertainment. Just it's weird, and we're the three of us are young enough to understand.
They call a lot of the guys like a one and outer, and he comes in, he fills up the fucking room on Monday, Tuesday. And everything starts dwindling, and then the next week there's nobody. That's the worst possible thing. Most of the time, is at least you have some form of comedic timing,
right?
And you build on that.
It's funny you say that. Go ahead.
No, good.
My roommate, who since moved to LA about a month ago, I lived with him for a year. He's been opening for Tim Dillon, and he kind of started. He started with me in terms of corporate job, marketing degree, started doing videos during the pandemic, and his career changed. And he talks to Tim all the time. And I hear this from my roommate, that Tim says the same thing in terms of there's going to be a lot of one and dones, give it 3, 4, 5 years. And, a lot of it's going to phase out, but I don't know. It seems like it's getting more interactive.
Well, my girlfriend showed me Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon to me could make you cry, laugh.
He's freaking
he's fucking hilarious.
He's hysterical.
He's one of those guys too who can just talk. He can just go off, kind of like how Bill Burr can just kind of go off and off and off. Tim Dillon's kind of like that.
His Sebastian is funny.
His is great.
It's hilarious.
It's not even the voice; it's what he says. It's like, could you imagine if that's what Sebastian was really thinking? He made a character out of him, and he compliments Sebastian
with the MTV movie.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Dude. I never seen anything that perfect.
Yeah, he's 10. I think he's like 10 years in too. I mean, he just got the. I
didn't realize he was that new.
His first open mic was like 2010, right after the recession.
His podcast is killer.
So
Which is
his podcast
he's
is
one of a
amazing.
kind. The monologuing he can do, if just
Yeah.
like you said, it looks like rambling, but it's just his thoughts perfected.
he
His voice
goes
is
on
perfected.
these random riffs that are just fucking
It's
crazy.
it's the most entertaining monologue podcast for an hour. I've yet to see anything more. You never know what the hell he's going to say.
I seen on a podcast he was a child actor
Really?
and then transitioned to stand-up comedy, which is fucking crazy. Like he was on actual national commercials and shit.
Yeah, I saw that too. I can't imagine.
Like he lived
Yeah,
a child.
he had a small role on Sesame Street.
That's right.
That's and you look at Tim Dillon, you're like,
he said he was on Sesame Street twice, and he did the polka with
I think
Snuffleupagus.
Sesame Street would have been canceled if Tim was on that today.
You should see some of my guest star things. I was in Golden Girls.
You're in a shit ton.
I think I was on the original Wagon Train.
I don't
I
even
was
know
like a
what that is.
baby. I'm kidding. But
Tom, Dom, were you in Everybody Loves Raymond and King of Queens?
I think I was on like the same night. I had 2 or 3 sitcoms, and I was thinking that I did the Seinfeld. My ex-wife was great on Seinfeld. She was the one about the ugly baby, Jerry the baby. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was your wife?
Yeah.
Wow.
No shit.
Realize that.
You see that baby? I fucked her. Seriously. Right in the cock. My friend was flipping out. This guy, he used to own a club in Tampa. And his mother was losing it. She gets up at Thanksgiving dinner. She goes, "You know what these gay guys do? They fuck each other right in their asses." She goes, "Mom, stop." "No, but do you believe that? Right in the ass." What do you say to that? Well, everybody has their own style. Thanks for dropping in.
I thought my grandmother, 93 years old, Italian woman, God bless her, she was like progressive for an Italian grandmother, given what kind of you just said in today's climate, in the sense that like 10, 15 years ago, truthfully, like she's the most it's like she's got tendencies from the Great Depression era, and then all of a sudden it's like the most respectful thing. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? We were sitting on the couch. This was like 10 years ago, and she saw something on TV. I don't know, a gay scene of something, or whatever you want to call it. And she just looked at me and just goes, and I was like, I know exactly. She whistled and then did one of these and then pulled her ear, like, I think you can imagine. And I was like, knowing what I know now about how all Italians are racist as you get older, it's like that was ahead of her time. She could have been a freaking mayor of Chicago. Holy shit! Just to do one of these, I think 1 million people would wish they had those grandparents that made coming out of the closet a little easier. Truthfully speaking.
Your family was a real racist?
No, just yeah. You know what? That's exactly how I.
No, that's
this
my
podcast
family,
to
Dom.
go.
That's my family. That's the wrong young Italian comic. That's my family.
Oh yeah, I'm talking like the older than the boomer generation. Great, what the hell's it?
Great, yeah, depression
Greatest generation. Yeah, I think.
Nick,
everyone's got the uncle, the grandfather, the uncle, great uncle.
Nick, you're Tony Soprano compared to your Sebastian. I put your Tony Soprano a level up.
Really?
That.
Pretty high. You're
Nick, the stage is yours, my friend.
I gotta do it. Look at this shit. On a fucking podcast with Tom Herrera. He's got a cock set on. What the fuck are you gonna do? I should have worn my titty outfit or some shit. You fucking beat me to the entertainment stage before he even said shit. He's got a fucking cock set on. I don't really know. It's just ranting about random bullshit. But yeah, I didn't even. I knew 3 impressions. I knew Christopher Walken, Sebastian, and Soprano, and that's what I was posting on TikTok and online, thinking that it was a hobby for my family to get off my ass. Because,
but dude, I mean, the hardest thing with stand up is getting people in the door.
And
I mean,
for
really,
me,
it is. It
yeah.
really is. It really is. It's getting people in the door. From what I see from all the, younger comedians I know, that's the hardest part. So you got that. Now you just got to, keep nailing down the act. And that's just stage time.
I think also too, I just didn't expect to get calls from comedy clubs because of 3 impressions. It was those 3 guys I just mentioned living in like a fantasy land of college together, and they would just like the Sebastian walk in and soprano rush a fraternity. They do laundry. It was really stupid, but to think that comedy clubs called and wanted to book me from that was awesome. But it's also like how much of that would have worked if the world wasn't shut down and clubs needed to get people in the door by booking people with followings. I don't know. It's just
doesn't matter, man.
A weird fucking
doesn't
thing.
matter.
You know what I mean? I know what you're saying, Brian. It's just like how would
my
ride it? Star have been different,
Yeah, you got to ride it.
But
I was doing a thing at the University of Pennsylvania, supposed to talk to the kids about comedy and drama and stuff. And after I got done talking, I felt so down. And I said, I don't know how people make it in showbiz. It's so impossible. And I can't leave them with this. I said, but you know what? Somebody's got to make it. It might as well be you. Somebody's got to do it. So just because I was like thinking, how the fuck they're standing in line for a month, and then they get the shittiest spot of the night. The worst people get the shittiest spot, so it makes it twice as hard. How the fuck is that? If something happens, somebody clicked in with your thing, and something happened to me. Like I don't know, I didn't even have I didn't even know what the fuck do you do. I like to be a comedian, All right, get in line, Weird.
Speaking of the voices stuff, the impressions, Dom, I saw your 1988 Dangerfield set, and I've seen a lot of your stuff. Big fan, obviously. Thanks. But when you got up there, I've never seen you get on by doing a character and doing an accent. I got to ask, how much did Dice go on before you that same night to where you knew he was doing a character, and were you making fun of him, or was that your plan going into the night to be that character?
No, it wasn't even that. No, I was just worried about myself. But my mother and my sister were there, and they were laughing. They were embarrassed because they didn't want people to think that he thought that they didn't think he was funny. And then she was like embarrassed. But I mean, he had his own thing, and he was managed by them, and we really didn't get along for a while. But now we're fine. Okay. Because I always kept saying he's a Jewish guy trying to be Italian, and he hated that.
But okay? Going back to my first question,
did you follow him, Dom? That's a good question. I never asked that.
I don't know. I think so. Bill Hicks. He is.
Yeah, of course.
Well, this guy Rick Messina was managing him, and he was nervous. And Bill was a tough, the cigarette, the collar cup. Hey, what, you gonna get nervous because fucking 200 people are gonna laugh at you, big fucking pussy? And I was like, I got him laughing, and I was looking back on it. You just didn't know who was going to make it, even from that show. Don't forget, it was so weird because there was, there weren't any specials then. Right. Like Robert Klein would have a special, and that was really that was it. So we had the most exposure. It was unbelievable. I went to Atlanta the night after it started. I said, it was packed. I go, what's going on? They go, you are. I go, what do you mean? They all saw the special. Holy shit. Now you got to pay people to see the special. People get the thing that's sad is like getting 10 people in so you can do stand up. It's like it seems to me it's like so pathetic that here's my friends. Can my friends they'll buy drinks? That's so sad. Anyway,
no, it is sad. It's the one thing I've learned about the job is that it's it being alone on the road is. I mean, there's nothing like it. There's some of the places you stay and shit like that. It's
Nick, have you done the road? Have you done the road or just?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Springfield, Massachusetts. Some corporate gig in San Antonio, Texas. All over Chicago. Where else? I don't know. Jersey, Princeton, Long Island.
Yeah, that's a question I ask Dom all the time because I hate doing
Oh, it's the worst part of the job.
Dom, you enjoyed it, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I was lucky. I got I had a good start. By the time I went out, I didn't do it for the money at first. I just wanted to get status so I could get on a catch Rising Star and the Improv, and once, so I was going on like my product, whatever, was a pretty high level going into there because of the advantage I had being on that special. I mean, that's how they know you.
But would you say what made the job for stand up was the traveling and the hotels and the airports? Like I hear a lot of comics say that that's the job, like without even knowing.
That's the hard part. Yeah, once I get past security and I go up into the lounge and I'm fine. It's just especially leaving. It's a pain in the ass getting up at 4 in the morning. And see, now with these things, you can just get up to real time. You know, like I can go to Boston. Like if I'm in Philly and I got to go to Boston, you got to get up like hours early to get there. You know, and all that shit's gone. That's why I like this stuff so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have pants on. So you can't tell. I got really tight little jean pants.
Yeah, it's insane to think this is a full-time job for people, but it works. It pays, you know.
Well, the thing for me, I had the advantage of having no talent in anything else. So I never had to think, well, maybe I'll choose this. I liked teaching at school. I enjoyed kids with, you know, that was a fun, you know, like fun thing. 10-year-old kids that blast. All they want to do is play ball. And, but you know, if I had always choices, I think you got to be fucking crazy to think you're going to make it. But
yeah,
well, you know,
I think I'd love to hear your take on, you know, how that world's changed with like the newer comic or newer entertainers' expectations as to the stereotypical millennial mindset of the entitlement aspect. Like, do you think that the newer comics have kind of changed what stand up is because of their expectations, or is that kind of
it was very, very different in the sense that we had Jews, Italians, black people, but we didn't have like now you got like Arabian comedians, you got, you know, from all over the world. It's a different, you know, it's just so different. I was in Perth, Australia, which is the most remote large city in the world. This guy comes up to me, goes, "Hey, mate, you're my brother's favorite comedian." I said, "Yeah, that's nice." He goes, I said, "How old's your brother?" He goes, 15. I said, "Your uncle likes me, some fucking greaseball from Philly." How did that happen? You know, because of the media, you know.
Yeah, the internet. Yeah. That's crazy.
What do you think blew it open for you? Was it Dangerfields in '88, or was it the TV appearances in the '90s? Or
no, it was the special. I mean, I did the Tonight Show a couple of times, and that was a pretty big deal in those because there was no competition.
Okay,
but the Dangerfield was because people could be dirty for the first time, you know. And
right, because that was on HBO, right? The Dangerfield.
Yeah, HBO.
Yeah. Who's hosting when would you say you did the Tonight Show?
Carson was hosting.
Carson,
yeah.
That's awesome.
The guy says to me, first my head I felt like it was going to blow up. You know, I was so fucking nervous.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
And you know what the guy said to me? He goes, have fun out there. I go, fucking fun. This is torture. I just want to get it out of my head. What the heck kind of fun is this? Everybody's fucking judging you. And he goes, all right, calm down, you know. But
was the first one when you walked out scratching yourself? Was that, or that was your second appearance? You remember that bit? When you would go like this, my buddy, he came up to me. Hey, Dom, you got any lotion?
No, I don't remember that. But that's a good thing about my age. I think I wrote this new material and I just regurgitated it from 10 years before. You know, I really did. I swear to God, I can't remember anything. I don't know why I'm here and who are you people?
I don't blame you.
Red rum.
Yeah, it's a foggy ass world. I don't blame you. Oh my God!
But it's really it's the breakthrough to headliner is such a difference. It's really worth the fight, you know, because it's like the whole world like is different. You get a limousine help you, you know, it's the poor fucking middle acts who can't get the TV exposure. That's what's so great about this. It's like you have a funny one of these kind of shows. It's like, wow, you don't have to do. You're all of a sudden equal with these people. You know, when I started out, but I mean, it was like there was no you couldn't squeeze through, you know.
Hey Dom, somebody like Pauly Shore, was he a stand-up before things happened for him? Like things happened for him very quickly, like Nick, right? where it was very early on.
Yeah, but
before doing stand up, right?
His mother wouldn't put him on. His mother, who owned the Comedy Store, wouldn't put him on until he got to be a better comedian, which was smart for him. So he did the Laugh Factory. And it's funny because one day he comes up to me, he goes, the waitresses were hugging me and stuff, but beautiful waitresses. And he goes, how come the waitresses, I don't understand. He goes, I got a 3-picture deal. You don't have any of that, but they all like you. I said, you know why? Because I teach them like fucking human beings, you little jerk off. You know? All you gotta do is talk to them, and they talk back. How do I get laid?
Dom, I seen his stand up last year. Very funny.
I think he's funny. Yeah, he's goofy. He's fun.
I don't know if I talked about this on the last episode. I saw Chappelle a couple of weeks ago in San Francisco.
Was he working? Was he working out, or he did a power set?
Dude, it was no. It was an hour. Yeah, he did an hour.
Holy
it was probably 40-ish minutes, you know, with a couple long, you know, smoke breaks, as Dom likes to say, you know, some long pauses. You know, about 10
walk
minutes,
away.
10,
My
10
favorite
minutes of
stuff,
this.
like when he drops his hands in his mic and he starts like jogging because he's laughing at himself. You know, so like running in one direction.
I don't know. You know, the thing about David, I love his work, but he goes on too long. Like it's 4 hours. Nobody laughs for 4 hours. They can't even serve drinks.
Yeah.
And I said, and the woman that booked him said, yeah, he does all material. I said, nobody does fucking 4 fucking hours. What are you, crazy?
Holy shit!
It's not
actually done 4 hours.
No, he didn't. He talked 4 hours, but he didn't do jokes for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man!
And I asked one of the waitresses, and she goes, "No, he did the same stuff." He said, one guy was sitting in the front, and he forgot that he had talked with him, and he goes, "Hey man, where are you from?" The guy says, I told you, I'm still from Pittsburgh. You know, 2 hours ago, I was from Pittsburgh.
People forget and they lose focus. You're saying,
yeah.
Yeah. One of the things about the guys that I don't like is the preaching thing. Like all of a sudden they're preachers, they're wise men. You know, it's like, you know, I really don't give a fuck what your political views are. Just how about being funny?
That's my least favorite.
See, I'm like I'm the other way. I kind of, you know, I do like just, you know, observational humor, but I also do like somebody who has something to say and they construct it in a way that's really funny, like very funny storytelling. I do like that.
Doesn't Bill Burr do a thing of like looking at abortion one way,
yes,
and then
I was just going to say
that. That's pretty brilliant.
That was,
yes.
in my opinion, I don't mind. I think you refer to them as the monologist, Dom, of the guys that will go up there and just tell you how to think. And sometimes there's a joke, sometimes there's not, which I can only listen to for so long, especially with politics. I think I like comedy as an escape, and politics is just fucking is brutal. But yeah, Bill Burr's bit about baking a cake compared to abortion, and if you put the cake batter in the oven, take it out after 2 minutes, you still fucked up the cake. Doesn't mean it was going to be a cake. It was going to be one. You just took it out too early. You threw it on the fucking ground. And it's like, he ends that bit by saying, I don't know. I could see it. You're killing a baby. On the other hand, it's like, he acknowledges that he doesn't even know. It's like, I don't think to give political answers on stage as a comic is the most hypocritical shit of all time. It's like, you're not in the business for a reason type thing.
He's making people think though. That's
I don't mind
that's
that.
that's what I like. I like when somebody who can,
like you have all the answers.
Right.
Yeah. I don't need you to be a professional. I understand it's an act, but it's like, if you don't even have your shit figured out, as long as it's self-deprecating and you can acknowledge that you're at fault with something, like, you know, that's just divisive to me, you know, in a lot of ways. But
he's so fucking bad. He's so funny. He's often on and off stage. He's hilarious.
My favorite comic. He's my favorite comic. I think the delivery has a lot to do with that, because he'll just be. I don't like a tight set. I don't like Seinfeld's style of stand-up in the sense that it's very tight. It's very perfect.
And I'm thinking, hey. Who are these people?
Yeah, it's Bill Burr.
I love Seinfeld. I saw him in April. He was incredible.
I like that. He's joke writer.
That's the thing I like. It's amazing to me that he went for an hour, and it was all words. He was talking the entire time, and I know that he chose each one of those words.
Yep.
on purpose. You know?
That's a beautiful art form in and of itself, without a doubt. I just, as an audience member, like stand-up bias aside, like I just like listening to a guy who's just, I don't know, I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, I'm a fucking jerk off. My wife hates me, but yeah. So like I don't. That's just more appealing to me. And again, it's
You
just
got to see him live. Have you
Oh
seen him
yeah,
live?
I haven't seen Seinfeld live. No,
Yeah,
but
you got to see him live. His
He was
whole
always
hour
good.
is good.
He was always good. Like I saw him in like 1978. I first went up to New York, and he was good then. He just had it. That style might be a little soft. Like he told me one time, he goes, I painted myself into a corner I can't get out. In the sense, like if he does anything that's not clean, the audience will boo him. You know, they
that's
came
not
to see
a
a
bad
clean
corner
show.
to be in, though, right? It's the most broadest corner possible for clean. You know.
Yeah, but he'd like to, just for the fun of it, say some
Okay.
stupid things.
To have the option to go elsewhere if you wanted to, type thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be tough to feel like you can't, you know, be free to, you know, kind of go into other stuff, or people aren't gonna, you know, be with it. I mean, I really liked his Comedians in Cars show that he
that's
did.
good.
Great show.
I wish he did like a podcast like this. I mean, he would be amazing on these. You know, he doesn't really do them though. I've never seen him guest on a podcast.
Yeah, I never thought of that. He would do it for one of his friends, I imagine.
He did Gary Papa's not too long ago.
Oh, did he?
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's very seldom though. He doesn't really, you know, I don't see him frequently. I would love if he had a show.
He did Howard Stern. He told a great story on Howard Stern about why he ended Seinfeld when he did. So I don't know. Apparently he's particular. He only gets up at Gotham. He won't go anywhere else, type thing. Which, I mean, the guy can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's Jerry Seinfeld. But I wonder what his approach is to that.
He's a really different human being. I mean, he's really strange. Like we were in Vegas, and he broke up with his girlfriend. And he says, I broke up with Meg today. Oh, it's such a shame. You want to talk about it? You know, I'm here for you. He goes, there's nothing to talk about. We broke up. It's over. You know, like I said, but don't you have any feelings? Like we're on a flight from Newark to Philly. No, Newark to LA. And we got upgraded for like $50. People's Airline, it was called. And we're sitting there feeling, and then we hit turbulence. And I'm like, oh fuck, we're going down. I know it. What a way to go. Mom, I love you. And you know, and he's sitting there like this, reading, writing. Doesn't this bother you? He goes, yeah, but there's nothing I can do. So I just read out. You know, I was like, what the fuck? Don't you feel anything?
God bless him.
He's very centered, man. It's unbelievable. You know, it's odd. Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, he loves comedians. He loves comedy. He loves comedians. He's not like one of these, you know, because these guys aren't as good as me. They might not be, but he doesn't care. He enjoys it. You know,
I remember you told us too, Dom. He was like super generous too.
Very generous, yeah. Because he always had more money than everybody. Like he was making $1 million a year way before the show came out of, you know.
Holy shit! I didn't know.
Oh, really? What, on his stand-up, just like touring?
Yeah. One time we were in Atlantic City, and he was opening for like the Four Tops, and they didn't laugh one fucking time. And he did it. He gets on to thanks 25 minutes. I said, why don't you try to like make them laugh? Do something else. He goes, that's my set. That's what I do. And if they like it, they like it. Good for them. And I couldn't. And they didn't try. And I'd be up there with a fucking thing making, and you know, is this thing on? Hello.
Doing the mummer strut, Dom.
Yeah, right. You know what the mummers are?
No, I don't think so.
Smigs is a Chicago guy. I don't know.
Really? Never seen the mum. I'll pull up a mummer clip.
The mummers?
Yeah.
You never heard of it, Snig?
I don't think so.
It's like faggots being not gay. They're just don't say I said that. Hey, does this go out?
I don't even know what that means.
What troop is the best troop, Steve?
We just lost 50% of our listeners, by the way.
No, I don't think so.
You know, my grandmother's listening. She's still listening. All right. Cheers to Nona for being progressive at 93.
Type in Mummer's Froggy Car comics.
Froggy Car. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to ask you which one you.
People compare it to like New Orleans, Nick. Like, remember when we won the Super Bowl and Kelsey went up there in that suit?
Yeah.
Started screaming.
You
remember that?
I know you go to bed every night rewatching the Super Bowl. I don't remember the Philly Super Bowl. Like, no.
That's it.
How the frog stole.
Those are the mummers.
Yes.
Yeah, and they have
That's a lot of Grinches out there.
Looks like a fight.
they have like a theme that they dance
This
to.
is
It's like a
Party Hard
fucking
51st
demented
story.
fruit salad party.
Is this a Philly thing, or why? How is it
That's
a
a
regional?
real Philly
South
thing.
Philly.
Yeah.
And what's the? Is it actual a gay parade? No,
No, it's not gay. If you
what
do
is
it long enough, you might turn gay, but it's not. You don't go out. You go out straight. Then you
Nick,
start.
Nick, that one hurt. Nick, that one hurt.
Which one?
Is it a gay thing? It's
No,
not a gay. It's
I don't even know what the point of it is. What are they doing? Are they?
New Year's Day.
Hold
every
on.
year- It's an old school tradition.
Of what?
Well, that's a way to start a video. How are you?
Looks like
guys?
Now
fucking
look at that guy
Comic-Con.
leaving his house and his kid. Imagine his kid's just crying at the door. Said, "Daddy, not again."
Oh my!
Fucking weird.
What do they do? Is it based
That's
off of
it.
something?
That's it. They do.
They dress up and they go dance.
it's a parade that is on New
Oh,
Year's
oh,
Day.
those golden
The
slippers.
city
and
of
so-
Philadelphia, of all places in the country, the city of Philadelphia, most ruthless fuckers ever, are let that shit go down. That's what where the mummers are born and raised.
Yeah, so
It's-
mummering is a Christmas time thing that it came from the UK is what it says. That's where the tradition came from England. Like it's an old school English tradition where they would like dress up and then they would go out. You know, like it's almost like caroling. You know,
Yeah.
but there's more like fanfare behind it.
Paint your faces, grab an umbrella, dance.
Oh, you said New Orleans.
It's-
I was like,
it's-
what are you talking about? Mardi Gras. Okay, I was
Mardi
like,
Gras,
what does
yeah.
New Orleans have to do with gays and the Eagles? I was like, I don't
Steve.
so. I got it. All right.
It is really odd. I mean, we grew up with it, so we don't feel how it's so silly.
No,
and
I'd never heard of that. Yeah.
this dance. This is like, and they spin, and I don't know. That's my father out there. How sad is that? I don't want to say too much because I'm afraid of those guys.
Now, Dom, me and Steve were talking before the show, and he says he can't coach any little league teams or anything like that. What's your thoughts on that?
I didn't say that. I said I got a 10-year-old son, and he gets coached by a former Philly.
Oh, you didn't
and-
say that.
Yeah, he plays for the county.
I asked you.
And I said I'm strongly against dads that
Oh, that's what
coach
you
their
said.
kids because I grew up in a row home. I'm going to teach this kid how to become an athlete. Me?
Yeah.
It's like I never understood that dynamic.
Because
a
the guy
fa-
had a job who he could get off at 3:00 or some shit. Yeah.
No, it's
yeah.
like these guys don't know. They don't know the fundamentals to become a professional ball player. I don't want to. You get where I'm trying. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
no,
I do
know.
understand now. Now that you're saying he's got a Philly coaching him, what Philly is it? Who is it?
Former Reading Philly. His name's Mike Spadali. But
An
in
Italian.
this particular team gets coached by former players.
Okay.
Oh, dude, that's pretty
So-
cool.
Yeah,
it's
he
funny
made.
you say that. I approach it the same way. Apparently, it's rare in the sense that like you don't think you can provide any skillful training to these kids that want to be professional ball players. Maybe a couple of them, and I feel like I grew up. Correct me if I'm wrong. The minor age difference. If like a lot of like dads that volunteer to coach, it's like a noble thing. Like, oh, thank you so much. They're sacrificing this time to take the boys and it's like, wouldn't you rather have someone who knew how to throw a baseball than the guy who, I don't know. It's weird.
You should know how to throw a baseball, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I believe I had some coaches who didn't even know, how to pump the basketball up, let alone, you know what I'm saying? It's like
My point exactly. It's like this guy loses.
Did you play
his
any
cool-
sports, Rinaldi, growing up?
Football.
Oh, really? What
I was a
You
I
were
was
on
a-
the
I
line,
I-
right?
I was
Yeah,
a-
he's
I was
definitely on
a
the
I was a
line.
big boned kid. I played.
you ever
center.
seen Invincible, Brian? He's one of the guys trying out to be Vince Papali's backfill for
I love that movie.
that's a great movie.
I don't really like sports as much as I love to dance. I love the boogie. I love to let it go. There's a place where I go. It's all straight guys just dancing.
Dom,
I
you were
I
a
fucking hate dancing, but
you were a basketball player though, right?
well, yeah. I mean, it was pretty good for a comedian. remember that for a comedian is a very important point, you know.
And an
But
Italian.
these two kids they're working with me. I never met them. I'm having dinner with the two of them. One said, "I heard you're a good basketball player." I said, "I was all right." And he goes, "Could you, were you fast?" I said, "Really, very fast." And, "Could you jump?" I could grab the rim. But, I was only 5'7".
Really? You can grab the rim?
Yeah, I could really jump, you know.
Jeez,
He goes, you, and like everything I said, not me. What I look like now, you fucking idiot. I was 21 years old, you know. Yeah, I could. Not now. I'm getting shorter as we sit here.
That's pretty impressive, though. 5'7", being able to grab the rim.
That's insane.
I can't grab the rim, and I'm 6'2".
Yeah, but all I did was practice. If I practiced comedy as much as I did basketball, I'd be a fucking much better comedian. There are hours and hours of practicing for what, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, I knew it was going to break down. Well, go ahead, do one of your crazy impressions about me now. Son of a bitch.
You got sharing that feeling. You got to share the feeling, like you were mentioning earlier.
Smigs, what do you got coming up that you want to plug before we?
Oh man, what do we got coming up?
Hey, really nice meeting you, man. Thanks. Come back, please.
I will do it. I'd love to. Thanks for having me. What do I got coming up? What the fuck? What's the date today? May 22nd. I'm doing Governors in a month with you, Steve. That's perfect. Yeah, Steve's featuring Friday night.
I love that club.
I think it's one of my favorite clubs. It's the timeless in there. June 23rd, Friday, June 24th, Saturday, one show each night. Main room, Levittown, New York. Steve Rinaldi is confirmed today, the feature by boss man James. And love Long Island.
Fucking James kills me. What a character, huh?
He's a riot. Yeah, he's great. Great guy.
He's been around a while.
No, they took over the place. They had different owners when I started working there, and back in the 40s, whatever the fuck it was. But
30s. I think it was the 30s.
You know, I never like really realize it until I see like a mirror or something. A friend of mine's daughter, she was going to college in Cleveland. She brought some girlfriends over. And we went to a bar, and they were laughing and all. And I'm like, I feel I'm one of them. You know, there's 5 beautiful girls, and I look and I see my reflection in the mirror, and I go, "That's what I look like now. I shouldn't even be talking to these fucking girls." You know what I mean? Like you turn like into. There's nothing good about it. Don't be going, please. Stop the tape. Whatever you guys do. No, but I mean, like, how did it get that? Look, my fucking head. The head's bigger. You know, you feel it already. You're young.
He's talking to Steve.
Was he talking to Brian?
What the fuck
is he talking to everybody that fucking listens to me?
He's talking to Steve.
That's our show. Nikki Smigs, thank you, my man.
Thank you, guys. It was a great time.
Tell Sebastian we said hello. Do you ever talk to him?
I just met him for the first time about 2 weeks ago. Actually, it was at the premiere of his movie coming out with De Niro about my father. I got invited to go to the screening and the after party, so I got to meet him and his family and stuff, and some of the other actors. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw a couple of pictures. It looked like it was fun.
Yeah, it was really, really good guy. Really talented.
Yeah, he put me in the spotlight. You know, that really gave me the confidence out of the gate. It was like 3-4 months into the summer 2020. He was guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel, and he put my impression of him on TV, and that just kind of I guess blew up. You know, from there online at least. So. Yeah, that was a night. We're from the same hometown in Chicago.
Oh, really? And, you guys are from the same town?
Yeah, same hometown.
Oh, it's sick.
Arlington Heights, Illinois. And he was like my really inspiration to just say, you know, fuck it. You can do it without any experience, do it without knowing anybody type thing. And
it's like me and you, Dom.
Oh, they don't have tape. Stop the fucking tape.
They don't have mummers like us, huh? We're cool.
No, Steve's got Eagles green umbrellas for fucking Nick Foles and the boys, whoever the hell you're still
watch it
stroking off to.
255 million we gave our quarterback. Come on, baby. I could hit you with statistics.
I know you can, and I'm just bitter as a Bears fan that I gotta hear double doink the rest of my fucking life against you guys in the playoffs, the wild card game.
What year were you born?
94.
The last time they had a good team was 85. Huh? What do you think about that, tough
You got
guy?
the Cubs though. Are you a Cubs fan?
Tough guy, the opposite. I fucking remember I was back up to the long snapper because I wanted to be Fiddler on the Roof. No, yeah, no, we suck. We had 1 year in the Super Bowl,
Callback.
07, but yeah, I'm working on it, Tom. You saw the callback in there.
That unit, that defense in 1985, the best ever.
They should have never. And you know what fucked it up was you people again. Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan was a defensive coordinator. He went to head coach the Eagles the year after that, and ever since then, the best defense in history was not the same because of Buddy Ryan. He went to the Eagles, I believe, to head coach.
Yes, he did.
And you guys got the best guy in the world. I don't know what happened after that. Steve, did you guys win a Super Bowl once you got Buddy Ryan?
It took a long time, Nick. It took a
No,
long time.
So clearly it wasn't Buddy Ryan's problem, but no, I'm just jealous. Bears suck. I'm not a
That might be worse. This year might be worse than last year.
yeah, I'm so checked out, man. It's embarrassing. At least Rodgers is now with the Jets, who don't have to worry about playing that cheesehead, losing twice a year. So hopefully they get a shitty quarterback in Green Bay, and I can be at peace when we play the Packers, because that's the most embarrassing. Two days a year, it sucks.
Sorry, hey man, I'm sorry I brought it up. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, you know what? I'm ready to. Plane's going down. Fucking the whole thing. It's over. So.
Let's find out the real truth. That Governors, come on.
Hey, speaking of tragedies, June 23rd. No, Steve Rinaldi's coming up. Did you get a hotel room, Steve? Is that how depressed we are? No.
Thanks, Nick. See you guys.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yo, Dom, over here.
Bye.
Hey, Dom, hey.